My name is James Williams Jr. It is currently 1 minute to 4 o'clock, and we have lost a life over this unite to right fight fucking bullshit. I'm gonna try my best not to cry on camera for someone that I don't know that passed away, but any life lost over this dumb shit is not fucking right. This is not for children, and I'm sorry about the background noise, and I'm sorry that I'm not gonna really mute this TV so that you guys can hear in the background this constant act of fucked up bullshit amongst people, man. Y'all are all people. And why would you all fucking want someone to die over a fucking statue? The right to have speech, the right to have protest, it's fine. But when your shit goes this far, where things are just outrageous, man. It's outrageous. Yeah, you take a listen in.
Thank you for staying with us as we continue to follow the breaking news right now. The sudden and shocking flare-up of rage and violence in a small American college town. I'm about to show you some very graphic video. A car
just go to
plowing into
CNN.
a crowd of people in Charlottesville, Virginia, where an extreme right protest today descended into chaos and then terror. A car smashing into those people, many of them sent flying. We're not yet sure just how many are hurt or how badly. A local hospital spokesperson tells CNN that at least 7 people are being treated after this crash.
This is fucked up, man. Now, I'm really not an emotional guy. Tears are like forming in my eyes. So if you guys see any tears, you know this shit's real. I'm not that good of an actor, but this is just wrong. It's wrong. It's just wrong that anybody should have lost their life today because of these fucking statues, man.
At least one person is dead as a result of today's violence. Do you know if that fatality is yet from the car crash or from the earlier violence?
We have not yet been able to confirm that, Anna. But as we've described the violence that was seen in this town last night, a torchlit rally through the University of Virginia's campus by these national supremacists who gathered here, torches.
This kind of makes my own personal problems feel kind of small, you know?
Then there was the violence earlier today within Emancipation
No damn
Park
sense.
on the outskirts at it. That's the park where the statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee stands, the center of this controversy. We saw the poles of flags used as weapons. We saw bottles flying through the air and smoke.
If you're watching this, you know, I really want you guys to just like turn into CNN. They'll probably re-air this wherever you are at whatever time you're having it right now. But this is live for me. You know, this is in my city. This is our greatest shame ever. No, this is a tragedy in itself.
One life lost, as he said, I am heartbroken that a life has been lost here. I urge all people of
No sense, man.
to go home. We are waiting for confirmation
no
from
sense
Virginia police
at all
to learn of the scenario there. I spoke with one eyewitness who saw a woman in very serious condition being given CPR.
This is bad.
The ACLU shared some photos
It doesn't
with
make
us
any
of
sense.
other victims being treated at the scene. A very heartbreaking day here in Charlottesville for many people of this community who I've seen shouted protesters on both sides to go home, to let this city be.
And Kelly, are people going home? What is the scene?
Hell no, they ain't going home. They're causing all kinds of issues.
Much calmer behind me. You can see some of the Charlottesville police force behind me, but just to my left, some counter-protesters that would not be appropriate to show on television based on their lack of clothing, but otherwise a very quiet group here on the downtown mall. As it was declared an unlawful assembly in Emancipation Park earlier, the police dispersed protesters and counter-protesters. We saw people marching through town, but now it seems as though, and this is just from my vantage point on the downtown mall in the middle of Charlottesville, that things have quieted. That being said, Jason Kessler, the man who
I hope they arrest his ass.
the right rally, He said on his Twitter feed just after leaving the park that this is not over, that he and the people who he brought together from his point of view today would be here in Charlottesville all weekend.
All right, Kaylee Harton in Charlottesville, Virginia, staying on top of the latest developments there as the evening draws on here. Thank you very much. President Trump addressed the violence-free protest there in Charlottesville just moments ago. Disturbing images of the violence have been coming into CNN all afternoon. Let's bring in CNN's White House correspondent Athena Jones, joining us from Bridgewater, New Jersey, nearby, where the president is spending his time this weekend. Athena, how long did the president address the unrest there in Charlottesville?
Hi, Anna. Well, he spent a few minutes talking about what has been going on in Charlottesville, but then he went on to talk about the economy and the success of the country. Let's play again for our audience some of what he had to say specifically about Charlottesville.
We're closely following the terrible events unfolding.
Hear this ass hat, man.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides.
2 minutes, right? A minute and a half?
That last phrase you heard him say, on many sides, the hatred, violence, and bigotry on many sides is getting a lot of attention. What is he talking about there? Who is he referring to? I've asked several White House officials for some clarity on that. We know that the reporters in the room for that bill signing tried to ask him questions as he left the room. They asked him explicitly, does he want to have the support of white nationalists? And I think that's what's so important here, Anna, is what the president did not say. He did not talk about race or racism. He did not mention white nationalists. He did not mention white supremacy. He did not address the facts on the ground. He didn't talk about the fatality that has been reported or about that car plowing through the crowd. And he didn't talk about the images we saw last night of white nationalists carrying torches through the streets of Charlottesville, which evokes and harkens back to the kinds of images that were seen in America, especially in the American South, in the post-Reconstruction era. This is something that's going to get a lot of attention, and people want to hear more from the president. The President Trump has not found himself very often in this position where he is called upon to act as consoler-in-chief, if you will, where he's called upon to try to calm and soothe the concerns. And so I think that there are many people who are not going to be satisfied with what they heard the president say with regard to Charlottesville, especially this phrase about how there is violence and bigotry on all sides, and him not calling out the very organizers, the white nationalist organizers of these demonstrations that have led to all this violence. Anna?
Do we know if the president has spoken with officials there in Charlottesville about the violence?
Well, we know that the president did speak to the governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, and that they agreed that they need to work together to unite people and stop this sort of violence from taking place. We also know that the White House in general has been in touch with officials in the state and on the ground. What's interesting is you've seen the president
words can't
not
even
only
describe.
now, but also in his earlier tweet, his first tweet about this several hours ago, talking about the need to unite.
Words can't even describe the dishonor that's fucking happening right here, right now. And for him to not even acknowledge it, no, just proves our point. No, I'm pretty sure the Native Americans that stand in Rock are saying it, yeah, now it's on your side of town. Welcome to the real world, the realization of what the fuck you guys voted for.
And part of that has to do with
meaning. Living here in Charlottesville for more than most of my life, I've always known that the place has been racist. I'm glad that a lot of people are realizing it and bringing it to the forefront, but this is not the way that it needed to be addressed. You know, nobody should have had to die. Nobody. No. As a vet, it disgusts me that somebody would plow their car through people just to make a fucking statement. Why don't you try making a statement by doing the opposite? Try saving lives instead of trying to end them. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Come for Epic number 2. It is 4:09 and I'm ending this video now. Be seeing you.